Good afternoon and Jai Hind to all my dear students. How are you all? I hope you are staying at home and eating healthy food. And you are definitely enjoying your online classes, isn't it? Last day in my last class, I explained chapter 1 and chapter 2. So today I will be explaining the chapter 3 of the RFP book, The Snow Queen. So chapter number 3 is The Magic Garden. But before we start this, who have missed the video or who did not see the video of my previous class, for them I'll just explain quickly. So there were two children, one was Kay and one was Gerda. So this is Kay and this is Gerda, and they were neighbors and they used to stay in the poorer parts of the city. And Gerda's grandmother was telling them stories, and what happened suddenly? Kay, this boy, felt a sharp pain in his eyes. So he was rubbing his eyes like that. And when Gerda said, "What happened? What happened?" Kay said, No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine now. But actually, it was not fine. Now, what happened? There was Troll. Troll was a evil. That means very bad person. And what did he invent? He invented a magic mirror. What is a magic mirror? It was a bad magic mirror. Everything good appeared to be smaller, tiny, little, and everything bad used to appear to be good. Everything bad used to be appear to be large and big and magnified, means in a very large proportion. So it was a ulta mirror. You know what is a mirror, right children? Mirror, jab hum log ready hote hain, when we go out, we step out of the house, we look ourselves into the mirror, right? When you get ready to go to school, you see yourself in the mirror before going out. So that the mirror was same, but if you look into the mirror, it will give a opposite, ulta. All bad things will be magnified, will be big, and all good things, suppose you are smiling, but in the mirror you will see yourself like this, everything will be ulta, and the good things will be small, little, tiny, and the bad things will be big like this. So it was a magic mirror, and the magic mirror was not good. It was an evil magic mirror, and due to some reasons the magic mirror broke down, it shattered. And what happened when the mirror breaks down? What happens? It breaks into small pieces, and that piece is known as a splinter. What is it known as? A splinter. So one piece, that splinter, entered into Kay's eyes and caused this mischief. What was the mischief? That Kay could not see any good in anything. Like the grandmother and Gerda showed him a beautiful flower, and what did he do? He said, "Oh no, it's very bad. I don't want to look even I don't want to look at that flower. Why? Because it has worms inside." So it was not appreciating the beauty of the flower. It was looking at the worm or anything bad about that flower. So Kay, that splinter entered into his eyes and near his heart as well. So when the grandma was telling them stories, what did Kay do? Kay went out in the road, in the streets, to see and play with the big boys, and he wished and he imagined that his sledge should be tied with a big sledge and he will move along with that sledge. And as he was thinking, there was a wide big sledge on the road, and what happened, children? He suddenly realized that he was also moving with that sledge. And when he looked up, he saw a beautiful woman all in white fur coat, and that was the Snow Queen. And that was the Snow Queen. And what she did? She wrapped up Kay in her fur coat and kissed him and took him along with her. And slowly, Kay forgot about Gerda, forgot about grandmother, forgot about the beautiful roses, and he was mesmerized. Mesmerized means he was looking like this at the Snow Queen, and slowly he forgot everything and he went with the Snow Queen. This thing happened in chapter number 1 and 2. Now we come to chapter number 3. Gerda waited for Kay all winter. Perhaps he is dead, she thought, and wept for him. But when springtime came, the sunbeams and the bird whispered words of hope to her. I will look for Kay and find him, she said. So Gerda set out one morning to look for Kay. She walked in her new red shoes until she came to a river. Now, what do we mean in this paragraph? It is said that Gerda was waiting for whom? For her friend Kay. Remember, Kay has already gone with the Snow Queen. So she was waiting for him and she cried. Wept matlab cry. She was crying for her friend Kay. And what happened? It was springtime. What is springtime? This is winter and this is summer. So in the middle time is the springtime. That means the summer will start and the winter has already ended. Okay, that is springtime. And who were telling her? The sunbeam. Sunbeam means rays of light. So the sunbeam and the chirping of the birds. So the birds were also chirping and telling him that be hopeful that you will find your friend Kay. So what she decided one day, Gerda decided that one morning she will go out to find her friend Kay. So she wore her new shoes, though it is blue in color, but she wore her new red color shoe. R-E-D, red color shoes she wore. Where? She wore and went to the river. She came to the river. Have you seen Kay? She asked the river. I will give you my new red shoes if you tell me. Now, Gerda she went to the river and she is telling the river, do you know where is my friend Kay? So she is asking the river, do you know where my friend is? If you tell me the address of my friend, I will give you my new red shoes. And by saying this, what she did? She threw her shoes into the water. So she opened her shoes, her red shoes, and she threw the shoes in the water. The current carried them away and river didn't answer. So the current means the wave of the water, wave of the river carried them away. So she threw the shoes and the wave of the river carried the shoes away, and the river didn't give her answer. Answer to what question? When she asked, where is Kay? So the river did not know the answer. So the river could not answer Gerda back. I have lost my shoes, cried the poor child. Ah, I have lost my shoes. Gerda was crying because she has given the shoes to the river. Just then she saw a boat close by. Then she saw a boat, a boat with which we can sail on the river. So she saw a boat nearby. Okay, hoping to get her shoes back, she stepped into it. So only one option was there to go into the river, and that was by boat only. There was no other options. So she stepped onto the boat and she thought that I will go and find my shoes. The boat drifted over the water. What is the meaning of the word drifted? Drifted means to move slowly. Okay, but the shoes went faster. So the boat was also moving, but the shoes were moving faster. The current, the waves were carrying the shoes faster and the boat a little slower. But the shoes went faster and Gerda never found them. So Gerda could not find her shoes. After a long time, while the boat brought her to the other bank. Now, after a long time, she boarded the boat from this side of the river, and slowly, the boat went to the other side of the river. Now, what is the meaning of bank? Bank means there are two types of bank. One is bank where we deposit the money, and another bank is the side of the river where the river ends. That is the river bank. So from one end of the river, Gerda went to the other end. So from one bank to the other river bank. Gerda saw a lady standing outside a pretty cottage. With this, we come to the end of page number 10. So children, I have marked few words in this page. Number 1 is springtime. Number 2 is sunbeams. Number 3 is whispered. Number 4 is current. Number 5 is drifted, which I feel that you may have difficulty in understanding. So I will repeat once again. Springtime is the spring season, that is between the winter and the summertime. Sunbeams are the rays of sun. Whispered means talk softly. Okay, so it means talk softly. And current means wave, not the current you put in the finger. You put a finger inside the plug or inside the electrical socket. That is current, that is different. This current is the flow of the water. And drifted means also to carry slowly. Okay, with this the tough words of page 10 is over. And after a long time, while the boat brought her back to the other bank, Gerda saw a lady standing outside the pretty cottage. Now cottage is a small house. So where was the cottage? When she went to the other side of the bank, she saw a small cottage, and there a lady stood. A lady was standing in front of the cottage at some distance away. Hearing her cry, the lady could hear Gerda cry. Why she was crying? Because she could not find her new red shoes. The old lady pulled the boat in with her shepherd's crook. What is a shepherd's crook? Now children, shepherd's crook is a long stick with a bended end. You can see if it's clear. Can you see this long stick? Can you see the man holding a long stick? This is a shepherd's crook. Can you see a sheep over here? Over here? Yes. So earlier days, in early times, people used to take herds of cattle to make them eat grass. They used to make the cattle go and graze the grass. Graze, graze matlab to eat. So they used to carry their herd or goats of sheep or horses, and they used to make them go to the grass and eat the grass. So the man who used to carry the herd, he used to carry that bended stick in his hand, so that he has to put them in the line so that they don't move here and there. So that stick is known as shepherd's crook. And that old lady was having that shepherd's crook in her hand, and Gerda stepped out of the boat onto the dry land. So she stepped out of the boat, and the old lady was kind. And that old lady she met on the other side of the river, she was kind. She wore a big hat. Now what did she do? She wore a big hat like ma'am is wearing right now. Can you see? She wore a big hat painted all over with flowers of every kind. Now she had all sorts of flowers painted. Okay, there were flowers painted on her hat. Gerda told her all about Kay and her search for him. Now Gerda told this old woman who was wearing this hat, she told that woman about her friend Kay, and that she is searching for him. Stay with me, said the old lady. Now the old lady said that you will stay with me. Stay with whom? With Gerda. She told Gerda to stay with that old lady. Your friend is sure to come by sooner or later. So the old lady said that don't worry, your friend will come sooner means right now और later means later on means बाद में. या तो तुम्हारा friend अभी मिल जाएगा आपको और या तो फिर you will get him later on. Okay children, but you will surely get him. मतलब आपको जरूर वो मिलेगा. So you will find your friend either now or either later. So the old lady was lonely and wanted Gerda to stay with her. So that old lady, she was lonely. Lonely means she used to stay alone. Okay, lonely means alone. And she wanted Gerda to stay with her. So she wanted Gerda, this little girl, to stay with that lady. She must not remember K. Now the old lady muttered. Muttered means to speak to one own self. The lady was speaking to herself, not to Gerda. She was speaking to herself that, oh, I should keep in mind that Gerda does not remember K. I will do everything to make her forget about her friend K. I must do everything to make her forget him. Then she gave Gerda a bowl of cherries. Now, what are cherries, children? Cherries are fruits. So, the singular form is cherry and the plural form is known as cherries. So, one is cherry and she gave a bowl. Bowl means a katori. Katori में बहुत सारा होता है. So, the old lady gave a bowl of cherries to Gerda to eat while she combed her hair with a magic comb. Now, what was the magic? You know what is a comb is? Comb is a plastic with many teeth and we comb our hair with that. So that old lady was combing Gerda's hair like this, and that was a magic comb. And what was the magic? The cherries were the cherries of forgetfulness and the comb was the comb of forgetfulness. What is the meaning of the word forgetfulness? To forget, to erase everything from the memory, to rub out everything from the memory. So the old lady wanted Gerda to stay with her. So she said that I will do everything I can to make her forget about her friend K. So what she gave her? A bowl of cherries of forgetfulness, and she was also combing Gerda's hair with a magical comb of forgetfulness. As Gerda ate the cherries and as the old woman was combed her hair, she forgot Kay and her home and the grandmother and the roses in the window boxes. Now she forgot about everything. Gerda forgot about Kay, forgot about the grandmother, forgot about the beautiful roses that grew in the window boxes. She forgot about everything. Then the old lady went into the garden with her magic wand. Now, what is magic wand? Have you seen the Harry Potter movie? In that, the Harry Potter was carrying a stick, a long stick with which he was moving the stick and the magic was happening. That is known as magic wand. It is W-A-N-D, but we will pronounce it as wand and not wand. Okay, it's magic wand, and made all the rose plants disappear from the earth. Now what happened, I will tell you. Okay, with this we come to end of page number 11. And I will mark the difficult words. Number 1 is shepherd's crook. I showed you the picture. It is a long stick with a bended end which is carried by the shepherd. Shepherd are the person who take the cattle to graze in the fields. So shepherd's crook. And next is muttered. In the second paragraph, muttered means to speak to one own self. Forgetfulness means you will be forgetting about everything. And magic wand is the magic stick with which the magic happens. If you chant a spell, if you say a mantra, abracadabra, and then with that magic stick a magic will happen. So let's come to page number 13, because page number 12 is a picture over here. This is Gerda and she is playing in that magic garden. So we'll skip 12 and we'll come to page number 13. Okay, and made all the rose plants disappear under the earth. Now, what did the old woman do? She did not want Gerda to find Kay. So she said, okay, come on and come. You will stay with me. And by the meantime, she went into her garden, and with the help of the magic wand, she disappeared all the roses. Because if Gerda sees roses, she will remember the olden times with spent with the grandmother and Kay, and she will again remember Kay. So she vanished. Disappeared means to vanish. Vanished all the roses in her garden. She must never see the roses. मतलब उसको कभी रोज नहीं दिखने चाहिए. She must never see the roses. For if she does, she will remember Kay. Now the old lady was afraid. She was scared that if she sees the roses, she will definitely remember her friend Kay. Oh, she was clever, but not clever enough. Now the old lady was clever. She disappeared all the roses, but she was not enough clever. मतलब बुद्धि इसके she had this cleverness, मतलब वो चालाक थी पर इतनी भी ज़्यादा चालाक नहीं थी. ठीक है? Now why? Because the hat was painted with all kinds of flowers, and the rose was one of them. And while she disappeared all the roses in her garden with the magic wand, she forgot the flowers on her hat. She had forgotten the roses among the flowers painted in her hat. So she has disappeared all the flowers in the garden, the roses, but she has forgotten to disappear the rose in her flower or in the hat. The picture of roses in the hat she has forgotten. So poor Gerda stayed with the old lady and played happily in her magic garden. So what happened? So Gerda stayed with the old lady and she used to play with in her magic garden, where it was always summer and the flowers always bloomed. So it was a magic garden, as I told you, and it was every time summer. And in summertime there are lots and lots of flowers, and it bloomed every time. Only roses were not there, but all the other flowers bloomed. Bloomed means blossomed. Khilna. So all the flowers were there except the roses. She quite forgot Kay. Now Gerda, slowly she forgot Kay. But one day Gerda saw the roses on the old lady's hat, and she remembered the roses in the window boxes. Now see, that is why it said the old lady was clever, but she was not enough clever. Why? Because she has forgotten the rose that was painted on the hat of the old woman. Now what happened? Now Gerda saw the rose and she remembered the old roses which they had in the window box. In the window boxes. She remembered the roses. She gave a cry. Oh, poor Gerda. She cried and ran out into the garden looking for the real roses. When she saw the rose in the hat, she ran into the garden to find where are the roses in the garden, looking for the real roses, because she could see all other flowers, but she could not see the roses. Why? Because the old lady with her magic wand, she has disappeared all the roses. And she wept with disappointment because there weren't any. And she cried. Disappointed means to be sad. She was sad because there were no roses in the garden. Her tears wetted the earth. Now she started crying, and tear rolled down her cheeks and fell onto the earth. It fell on the earth and it wetted the soil. That means the water from her eyes or the tear rolled down and it wetted the soil beneath. And the roses were buried inside because it was magic spell, and the roses were buried inside. And when the water or the teardrops fell on the ground, they bloomed again. So the flowers again came back to life. They bloomed and they reminded her of Kay. Now Gerda remembered everything. The roses reminded her of her dear friend Kay. Oh, what a lot of time I have wasted in this magic garden. Now she realized, oh, what a waste of time, because it was it was winter time and she was in the springtime, and it was a magic garden. She was playing and she was playing and she forgot about Kay, and then she suddenly remembered that, oh, what a waste of time it was. I have wasted in this garden. She cried, I must go and look for Kay, because she promised herself that I will go and find Kay, and in the meantime she met this lady and forgot about her friend Kay. So she said to herself, oh, what a waste of time. I have wasted a lot of time. I must go and look for Kay. So we have finished reading page number 13. So the difficult words which I find in this page are: number 1, disappear. Disappear means vanish. Muttered, again I told you last time that to speak to one own self, if you're speaking to yourself, that is muttering. Bloomed. Bloom means blossom. Blossom means khilna. The roses started blooming with the teardrops of Gerda. Buried. Buried means dug under the soil. So with the magic spell, the roses were dug under the soil, and when the teardrops fell on the ground, it bloomed. And reminded means to make her remember. And nothing else I can find. So with this we come to end of page number 13, and as well as chapter number 3. So children, I hope that you will understand this, and you will read the book at home. So with this, I will be taking a leave, and I will be back again next week with chapter 4 explanation. So till that time, happy learning and happy studying. So with Kay and Gerda, Oishi ma'am is saying bye bye. Enjoy learning.